Hey guys, I'm Karl Woodeye. This piece I wrote back in 15. It was shortly after my friend who struggled with alcoholism, so this is a pretty good follow-up piece to the last one, killed himself. This is called Brady. Flooded with emotion, I sit and wonder if this is how I finally become humble. God knows I need it. Now when I pour out that last bit of my beer, I can say, this one is for the dead homies. And now I finally mean it. I will miss you, Brady, more than I would have ever known. The second I found out, I was immediately flooded with memories. I thought of that curly-headed skater kid in junior high. You were a grade below me. You were so much cooler than any of the older kids. I always thought you could use a haircut. You inspired me to start skateboarding, and I appreciated how little you cared what anyone seemed to think. You were yourself. I strayed from your presence for the last few years. I feel like I would only stumble into you when we were out drinking in Old Town. Carhartt, redneck, cowboy boots, Bud Light, and a smile. And one that I would never forget. Your style definitely shifted, but your aura never changed. I felt that you had drifted from the person I had originally grown to like. You always hugged me though, and you never treated me any different. I hope I never offended you by not being closer to you in those final years of your life. I didn't know, and if I had, I think a lot of us would have done things different. I guess that is the thing about death. No matter how much or how little we are prepared, it always surprises us. When it pours, it rains, and in this moment, it is raining barns and pigs. That moment was intense, to say the least. When your mother told us that they were going to play a video at your memorial, and I have never gotten chills quite like that. You could see everyone's posture change as they warned parents that this one could be a bit too graphic, and they would give a few minutes for them to leave the room before playing it. I remember thinking to myself that this might be too much, but curiously I kept watching. I think for all of us, it matched up with the image that I pictured before we found out the terrible news of your death. I remember the road. It reminded me of a spot up in Buckhorn, winding switchbacks, white aspen trees in every direction, autumn leaves, the yellows and the fucking reds. It was getting dark and hard to see inside the cab of your truck. The way you talked, it was ominous, like listening to a ghost explain the reasons why he killed himself. It brought closure with a swift blow, knowing that the second that video ended is when you pulled the gun out and you did the unthinkable. You made us all laugh so many times. It was sickening how much I laughed during your pre-suicide video, but that is how funny you truly were. That even in the most intense moment of your life, you could still bring tears and laughter all at the same time. I remember your eyes, they looked exhausted. You looked exhausted. It was clear that you were done with all of this and you were ready for the end. Group memorials, it expels a different type of tear. Maybe it's because you know you are not crying alone. Your tears are shared between hundreds of people in the same room, mourning that same soul that left this earth far too early. I feel empty, but I am not alone. I know this feeling is not my own. I know I am sharing it. I know it will linger for a while. It will stay attached to my clothing. It will greet me in the morning while I brush my teeth as my reflection questions me. Thank you.